Welcome back, it's Nine, and today we have another great video ahead of us. We are talking about PS5 pre-order updates, talking about Game Pass on the PS5 and PS4, and lastly, we'll be talking about the Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 being in full development. But before we get into that, if you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to get notified about all my upcoming videos, and hit the like button. It helps the channel a ton. Now let's get straight into it with the PS5 pre-orders. This comes from pushsquare.com titled Rumor, PS5 demo station appears in UK store, rumors of pre-orders intensify. Well, it looks like a demo station for the PlayStation 5 has been spotted in a UK shop. The shop in question appears to be a branch of Curry's PC World, and the image is from @IronCoreGame on Twitter. I'll have that up for you guys. The next-gen console itself isn't on display yet, but everything's clearly in place. The stall shares the same white, blue, and black color scheme as the PS5, and there are two controller docks. In other words, shoppers may not have to wait long until they can get their hands on the DualSense. So it looks like, naturally, when we come up to a next-generation console, they have display models up and they allow you to experience the consoles firsthand before you decide to buy them, right? So this being a move happening and going into stores means that likely we are getting closer to a pre-order reveal date, which means the price, which means the release date as well. And it makes sense. I've been talking about this a while, and we're probably going to get more pre-order updates along the road, but we've been talking about this for a while, and yeah, it's coming to due time that they really need to tell us when these pre-orders are going to be available, what the cost is going to be, and the release date. I imagine by the end of August, we're looking at all that information being revealed. At latest, at the very, very latest, it's got to be sometime in September, because any later than that, we're getting close to what would be considered holiday season. And I think since they've already said October's out of the question, that we're looking at a November release date, which also matches up with a lot of other details that have been revealed along the road and also historically with the PlayStation brand. But on to the next topic, we are talking about Xbox Game Pass, and this comes from pushsquare.com titled, Unsurprisingly, Xbox Game Pass will not be coming to PS5 and PS4. When asked about Game Pass coming to other platforms, PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 in question, Xbox, as Phil Spencer said, in places where we have brought Xbox, like mobile phones, like we're doing now with Project xCloud, and with Xbox Game Pass Ultimate on PC, we know when somebody is playing one of our Xbox games, there's an expectation that they've got their Xbox Live community. They have their achievements, he explained. The other competitive platforms really aren't interested in having a full Xbox experience on their hardware, but for us, we want to be where gamers want to be, and that's the path that we're on. So that's interesting. I mean, is PlayStation really against Xbox Game Pass being on the PlayStation platform? Definitely a possibility. I could see that maybe Sony wouldn't want to promote their content, right? Because obviously Xbox has a lot to gain off of being on PlayStation platforms. But also, is it that Xbox doesn't want to be on PlayStation platforms? Phil Spencer talks a lot about promoting being able to play their games anywhere, whether it be mobile phones, PC, maybe even Xbox. Obviously, they put their games on Nintendo Switch already. And why stop there? Why not go as far as allowing people on PlayStation platforms to play? Whether it be through xCloud, whether it just be through naturally downloading the games to their consoles. For consistency's sake, if Phil Spencer is so about allowing gamers to enjoy their games on whatever platform, he should be pushing to put it on the PlayStation. I mean, just based on what he said, he should be pushing to put it on PlayStation. But it could be that he knows that once Xbox games are on the PlayStation platform, that's good night Xbox. Like, it just is. Why would anybody go out and buy an Xbox console, period, if all of Xbox's catalog is available on PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5, and on top of that, you have PlayStation exclusives as well? I know I, for one, would be not interested whatsoever in investing in the Xbox ecosystem if those games were available on a PlayStation. And that's what makes me believe that Phil Spencer is definitely against putting games of theirs on the PlayStation platform, aside from games like Outer Worlds and games like Minecraft, where they definitely benefit there. But I don't imagine we're going to see Halo, Gears of War, Forza, Fable, any of these games, the Initiatives games. There's no way that they're going to put them on the PlayStation platform. That would just spell the end of Xbox. They would then become a publisher, which truthfully, it looks like they should just go down that route. I mean, they've pretty much gone halfway there already, so what's a couple more steps? But on to our last topic, and we are talking about Final Fantasy VII Remake. This comes from PSU.com titled Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2, now in full development. In an interview with Famitsu, Kitase says, "We know that everyone wants the next installment quickly. We would also like to deliver it as soon as possible. Since we were also able to see the line of quality from the first installment, we hope to make the next installment even better in quality that can make for an even better experience. We would like to get it out as soon as possible, so please wait for it. I think we can clearly convey the direction when we officially announce the next installment." So if you guys remember, like a lot of you guys are new to the channel, and thank you for subscribing. But before I transitioned off to talking about PlayStation and Xbox and just all games in general, I was heavily influenced by the Final Fantasy VII Remake, and that was kind of the theme of my channel. Now, I'm a big fan of the Final Fantasy VII game, and the remake is great as well. Obviously, I have my problems with it. So Remake Part 2 is a big deal for me. I look forward to playing it. I'm curious to see how they end up pulling off the story based on how the first one ended, and I'm definitely excited for it all around. I think when Square Enix talks about games coming soon, or when they say we need a little more time, they're historically very, very bad for taking long times with development or talking about things too soon, which some people will say, oh, well, that's a good thing because then we get to know exactly what's happening with the game. And then some people might get upset about it and say, well, why are you even announcing this if it's so many years out there? And so where I sit with it is I like to know what's happening with the game. If they give us consistent updates every few months, I love that. I'm okay with that. And I think my biggest question in all of this is what's going to happen? Are they going to be putting it on the PlayStation 4, or is this going to be a PlayStation 5 exclusive? They're talking about refining. They're talking about making greater experiences, making a better game. And I can only think of one way where they can really, really top what they did in terms of visual fidelity, in terms of gameplay, in terms of load times, in terms of everything, and that is going on to the next generation consoles. If this game is 3 to 5 years out, there is no way they can put this on a PS4. Like, it would just be crazy to hold back your game just based off the PS4. That's my 2 cents on it. I know a lot of people feel many different ways about this, and that's where I will pass this on to you all, and I will ask you, first off, what do you think of this PS5 demo station? Do you think that pre-orders are imminent? What do you think of Xbox Game Pass? And do you think Phil Spencer's the one stopping this from coming to PlayStation, or do you think that PlayStation doesn't want Game Pass on their console? And lastly, when do you think we're going to get Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2? And do you see it on the PS4 or the PS5? Let me know in the comments. As always, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell to get notified about all my upcoming videos. Follow me on Twitter. Link will be in the description. And share this video with a friend. I will talk to you on the next one. Take care.